a very special, a very unusual, a very unique breaking news segment, a update to our standard podcast that we do every single day. But because of the situation, because of the timing, because of the importance of this, I felt it vital that we go live to inform you, to inform everybody about this late breaking news, along with some information about the governor. And so that is coming up very, very soon as I get all of these correct buttons here hit and I pull them up. Push this button, I think. I do believe that is correct. Check all those. Alrighty, so that looks good, which means I can pull up the podcast and hit the go live button. You are listening to a special edition, a live edition of the American Soundbite, a podcast that features common sense thoughts of this everyday American. You're about to, witness a few very important moments of your day. So, hey, thanks for joining us in this special broadcast. Hey, before we start, I'd like to ask you to find or think of a couple friends, maybe family members or even coworkers who aren't always up to date on all the current events, or maybe just less talkative around the water cooler or at the Zoom meeting. And you can help them by letting them know that, they can listen to the American Soundbite and get all the information they need to talk throughout the day. And it will help them, it will help you, it will help us. It'll just help everybody to be better informed, to make independent decisions. So click that share button right now. It will help everyone. All right, so here we are live with an unusual afternoon update to the American Soundbite. And the reason that we're live, the reason that we're doing a last minute update in the middle of the afternoon, or the early evening, if you will, quite simply is that this afternoon I watched Governor Mike DeWine's regularly scheduled press conference where he was updating Ohioans. It was assumed that it was kind of a continuation of his scolding from last night, and that he was going to announce closures or at least indicate that maybe they were on the way. However, Governor Mike DeWine really threw a wrench into the works, because in his press conference, and I can't quote it exactly, you can go and look it up. I'm sure it's, everywhere on the information superhighway. Thank you, Al Gore. But essentially, Mike DeWine said that he does not see that it is crucial or that it is important for him as governor or for the government. And he even went to say it doesn't even matter what your state government, it doesn't matter what your county government, it doesn't matter what your local government orders or says to do. He said, rather than wait for government to tell you what to do, to mandate an order and either listen to it or not, he said it's important for Ohioans to look at the information, to look at the data, to look at the recommendations, and then make up their mind on how to appropriately move forward. And obviously, he's addressing both sides of the extremely divided debate as it relates to, government orders and protecting ourselves against COVID. But I honestly, I have to applaud the governor, which if you watched or listened to our show this morning, you know that I spent most of the time scolding him because of his lack of trust, his lack of focus his lack of belief in Ohioans. But he very plainly and clearly stated that it's not the government's responsibility, or it's not the that it's not up to the government to make decisions on what's in your best interest. He said, look at the data, look at the information, look at the maps look at everything that we're making available, listen to what it is that we're saying, and then make up your mind. He reiterated that it's important to wear masks, that it's important to social distance, it's important to do these things, but that he wasn't prepared. And even when pushed by reporters in the Q&A session, he said that he wouldn't fault on the side or error on the side of an immediate order or action, but he would really work to educate Ohioans so that they could make the decision that's in the best interest of everybody. And I have to tell you, we're doing this very episode specifically because I applaud you, Governor DeWine. You're acting responsibly, you're believing in your constituents, and you understand that your role is to give information to Ohioans, give information to the constituents to the best of your ability, and then let them decide what actions they need to take. Now, he did reinforce, and he applauded the businesses, like, what was it today? Walmart announced that they were going to require masks effective immediately. So he applauded businesses that were enforcing or that were mandating, regardless of what local policies are, mask wearing. And he reinforced the importance of wearing masks and doing the right thing and how that can help to reduce the spread of this virus. But he very specifically, like I said, even when pressed by the media, he very specifically said that he is going to give the information and that he knows that Ohioans overall are going to make the right choices. He even went on to say that he's received emails from some citizens of Ohio who have voiced concerns on one side or the other, but basically said, we're really struggling. Our child's got health issues. We can't put a mask on them, whatever. And he basically said, look, if people aren't wearing masks, that doesn't make them bad people. The governor of Ohio actually said this. He said it could be a medical reason. It could be a number of reasons why they're not wearing a mask, but that it's important for you to wear a mask. Don't judge people who do or don't wear masks, but listen to the information that we give. Take our advice and make the decisions that are important for you. The fact that businesses are requiring it, I have no issue with that at all. I was at a big box retailer today that required masks, and I put my mask on before I went into the store, and everybody had a mask on. It was no big deal. It was business as usual. But the important thing is that the governor appears to, he could blow this all out of the water tomorrow. As I said this morning, he could totally reverse course and say, we're mandating, we're shutting, we're ordering, we're whatever. But as of his presser today, he specifically said that he wants to give the information to the citizens of Ohio. He wants them to understand what the seriousness of the information is, what the seriousness of the situation, and how to best protect themselves, but to leave it up to them to make the decision on, what is best for them. And I 100% applaud that. As you have heard in numerous episodes that we have released regarding COVID-19, I do not know where that sound is coming from. And how to best Give me just a moment to try to figure that out. To make the decision on, what is best for them. Poof, I don't know how that happened, but we got that corrected. So I have said numerous times that, through this entire period that I have largely been in self-isolation. I have avoided contact across the board with people wherever I can, wherever is possible, wherever it's reasonable, which is practically always. And, when there have been situations where I've needed to go somewhere, the grocery store as an example, I have certainly had a mask on. I think I've washed my fingerprints off because of all of the chemicals that I've been putting on them, not just soap, but that juice. When I go to physical therapy, I'm wearing a mask, I wash my hands, I put that stuff on before, during, and after. I think it's important that we take appropriate measures based on our situations. And the fact that it appears, as of right now, that the governor understands that he is leaving it up to Ohioans, that he doesn't intend, as of, this afternoon, to take governmental action to mandate closures or actions or shutdowns or whatever. But rather he intends to continue to deliver the information. He is showing that the number of cases, like in Cuyahoga County, has been reducing. We're still in the red zone, but it's getting close to dropping. And other counties, it's either getting bigger or it's getting smaller. But he basically said, look at the map, look at the number of cases, look at the data, and take preemptive action. That just because you're in a yellow zone on his new map doesn't mean that you can, kick back and be like, oh, we're out of this. You're in the yellow zone, so take action so that you move into the clear zone, not into the red zone. And it appears that is his belief, that is his understanding. So whether I misread his comments, his statements, his posturing of last night, or he has, figured something out or been pressured by members of his legislative branch, or whatever it is, he's doing the right thing. I do absolutely applaud it. Again, I think we should all be taking precautions. I think most people, if not everybody, is taking precautions to some level, whatever level is appropriate for them. But obviously, we all can make that decision. We can all decide what we need to do to provide us a level of security or emotional safety or whatever it is as we're moving forward. So again, the breaking news is that Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, has said that he does not plan on taking gubernatorial efforts to mandate actions or closures or anything else as things continue to move forward, but he wants to continually reinforce the situation that each county is in and make recommendations that he believes that all Ohioans should choose to follow, but ultimately that it's up to him. Again, he spent a lot of time telling people, don't judge people if they're wearing masks or they're not wearing masks. Don't judge businesses if they're mandating masks. He, again, applauded those businesses. He really said that, we all need to work together, and being in a situation where we're, whining and pointing fingers and yelling or screaming or shooting video or, calling 911 on somebody who is or isn't wearing a mask in their car is absolutely irrelevant. And he said that that he believes in Ohioans. So that's a good sign. It is a 180-degree impression that I had from last night and this morning to today. And I wanted to take this opportunity to update you on that information because it is important. We do have to take precautions. We do have to be safe, but we need to make those decisions based on our own situations, based on our own areas, based on our own family. And just go out and live life as safely as you can. So that is the breaking news. I wanted to commend Governor Mike DeWine. Somewhat of a retraction, not really a retraction, but a certain very different stance than I had about the governor this morning. And I applaud his actions. I applaud his decisions. And hopefully he stays the course and continues to trust Ohioans, their judgment, and the actions that they are able to take and make right now and moving forward. So thanks a lot for joining us, and we're going to the exit. You have been listening to a special edition episode of the American Soundbite. This is a podcast that features common sense thoughts of an everyday American. This has been the most valuable few minutes of your afternoon, and I appreciate you joining us for this live update. Hey, before you go, if you like what it is that we do, if you like the content of this show or just the format overall, click on that like button and let me know. If you don't like it, if you hated it, or if you absolutely loved it, type a comment. I read all the comments, and I promise you that it affects how our show runs moving forward. While you're at it, right next to that comment button or the like button is the share button. Let your friends, your family members, your coworkers on social media know that you start your day by listening to the American Soundbite, and they should too. Thanks a lot. I hope you have a great night, and God bless. All right, and that is a wrap of our podcast, our live special edition podcast. And as you know, you always get a little bonus footage when you're watching us live via video on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you have been joining us, I really do believe that we need to take safety precautions. I don't believe that that we can hide from this virus, that we can wait it out and it'll just disappear on its own. But at the same time, I don't want to get sick. I don't want you to get sick. And so whether that means that you need to stay in your house or you need to wear protective coverings over your face or whatever when you do go to work or go out, or I don't know, whatever it is that you decide that you need to do, that you should take those precautions. It's best for you. It's best for Ohio. It's best for everybody around us. And the reality of it is that if you make good decisions and I make good decisions and we all, accept that we're all free to make our own decisions, that's when life is good. That's when good things happen. And, that's when we're frankly just good to our neighbors. And isn't that really what Ohio is all about? It certainly is the Ohio I grew up in. So thanks a lot for joining us. Like I said, starting tomorrow morning, we're having this roving series that we're going to be doing for, about a week or so. And so it should be interesting. It may be a little glitchy, and I apologize for that tonight, but it does. I do think that it's going to work really well. I'm looking forward to it and hope you join us to see, how it works and what mistakes we make on the road. Thanks a lot, and